Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle, and today I'll be talking about how to tell if somebody is an expert. We have so many people going around now masquerading as experts when in fact they are not. I also know that in the United States, at least in recent memory, people are encouraged to pretend they know a lot and have authority over a certain subject, when in fact they don't really know much, if anything, about it, and they're just pretending for positive attention. So I had some ideas on this, also did some extra research, and today I'm going to list a few different ways you can gauge if somebody seems like a trustworthy expert or if you should just start ignoring them and find somebody better. So first would be credentials. Credentials could be something like certifications or degrees. So has somebody gone to a university and actually received a degree in the subject that they are talking about? The higher the degree, the higher the level of expertise. So if somebody has an MD or a PhD, that's more valuable than somebody with like a minor in the subject from a bachelor's degree. MAs are usually pretty trustful as well. So that would be a really clear indication that somebody knows what they're talking about and is probably a good reference for you. Another could be credentials, because not every single topic comes with a college education. It's not necessary, or it's not even available, but perhaps there's some sort of professional certification that you could get to verify that you've studied it and you know what you're talking about. So you could look into what credentials they have. Now, if somebody doesn't have these professional credentials, does that mean they are not at all an expert? No, this is just one way you could gauge. The reason, though, that I would argue that these kinds of credentials are super important is because when you go through a certification process, a training program, a degree program, somebody else who's already been deemed an expert, at least one other person, usually it's many, many other people, are confirming that this person has in fact done the work and does have the knowledge and or the skills to say that yes, in fact, they have this. This is really important because this goes into the next one, which is peer respect. Do other people verify or confirm that this person has the expertise that they claim to have? So again, a degree program or a certification process, a training program that you've passed and received whatever the final degree is, that would confirm some level of peer respect. Another form of peer respect could come from other people in their field refer to this person as an expert. So say somebody's a dentist. Well, they can't clean their own teeth and check their own teeth all by themselves. Most likely they go to somebody else who is a dentist to take care of their dental health. So if you're a dentist, if you're using a dentist too, that would mean whoever you're using must be good. So that would be a form of peer respect. If you're, say, working in a company, then if your colleagues are seeking you out for advice or ongoing training or mentorship, that would be evidence of peer respect. You also have things like you've maintained your job, so your employer continues to pay you year after year, and maybe you get promotions or bonuses or good raises, things like that. That's also evidence of peer respect. Another thing you could consider is their performance. So if you've used this person before and the work that they have done has been good for you, you've gotten a satisfactory result. Let's say, you've got some sort of tight muscles and you've gone to a certain massage therapist and time after time they work out the problem for you. That would be evidence of their performance. If you're a salesperson at an organization and you continue to bring in the money that the organization needs, that's evidence of performance. If you're a teacher and your students score well on their exams and perform well when they move on to the next level, that is evidence of successful performance. Another thing is your career or your experience in the field. So how long you've been doing something will testify to whether or not you are potentially considered an expert. So if you've been doing something for 5 to 10 years, hopefully you've gained some level of expertise over what you're doing. If you're a novice, that doesn't mean you don't know anything, but say you're 3 months in, I wouldn't call you an expert yet. You might have some knowledge, but an expert, probably not. So the more time you've been doing something, generally speaking, the more expertise you gain in it. However, that doesn't mean just because you've been doing something for a long time that you are an expert, because you could have been doing it wrong the whole time. So I wouldn't rely completely on this alone. Reliability is the next one. This is similar to performance. So if you're reliable, this could mean, you show up on time, you follow through with what you say you're going to do, you keep your commitments. Yes, that's part of reliability. Also part of reliability is that time after time the performance is there. So if I say need routine work done on something in the house, and I always call the same handyman to do it, and every time the handyman comes, it's done correctly and works for as long as it's supposed to work, that would be good. That would be a reliable person. I wouldn't necessarily expect this person to have any degree in what they're doing. They might have a professional certification, but they're certainly reliable and they get the job done every time. And then the last thing we'll talk about is reflection. Reflection would mean that this person is able to think about the work that they do, reflect on it, and say what they think they've done well, where they think they could do better, and how they think they can continue to grow and develop in what they're doing. So most people, if they're truly experts, they're aware of when they make a mistake or when they fell short in some way. For example, with teaching, I might say like, I was really hard on that student. Like, I probably shouldn't have been that hard on them. I should give them some opportunities next time I see them to feel like they've won in some way, to help them regain their confidence. Or maybe I didn't explain something very clearly in the last class. Okay, next time I go in, I need to re-explain that, and I need to think of a better way to explain it that's going to connect to the student better than what I did the last time. And I should be prepared and not just off the cuff trying to come up with something. So that would be a way that the expert could reflect on their performance and be honest about how they're doing and what they might change in the future and what they might keep the same because it's working really well. So again, recap, we want to look at credentials, so that could be certifications and degrees. We want to look at the respect among their peers. Do other people seek them out and consider them experts? Is their performance there? Are they meeting the mark? At the very least, hitting whatever the objective is. Do they have the experience and a career showing that this is something that they do? By the way, it doesn't always have to be a career where you're an expert. It could be a hobby that you take very seriously, but you've been doing that hobby for a very long time. So that would mean that you do know quite a bit about it. Reliability, they show up when they say they're going to. They hit the marks that they say they're going to hit, and they're consistent in delivering on what they need to be doing. And then of course, reflection, they're aware of anything that they need to improve upon, and they're aware of what they're doing well and where they can continue to develop. So I hope these were helpful for you. Please leave some comments below. I will also leave a link to a Psychology Today article that I found to be super helpful. And if you read it, you might feel like you're reading something like I just said. But anyway, I thought it was really helpful in outlining some clear guideposts. Remember, you don't need to hit all of these things to be an expert, but you should hit at least a couple, if not 3 of them, to really be truly considered an expert in what you're talking about. My dad's laughing at me as I'm making a video, but he makes plenty of videos. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Bye.